Good afternoon. Welcome to the first class of this week. So we are in Unit 1, Lecture 6. So today in this class, we will discuss the last topic what we are dealing, that is the levels of management, the hierarchy system in any firm, and also introduction to the motivation, their related theories, said by many scientists. So hope you are fine. So hope you enjoyed your Sunday. Now we'll switch on to the class, right? Yes. So in the previous class, we are discussing about the topics, that is the various levels of management. That is the top level management, upper middle class, medium level, lower level, and scavengers. So in the top level management, as we discussed and gave some examples also, we are having board of directors, managing directors, chief executives, general manager, owners, and shareholders. So what are their functions at that level? So they monitor each and every concept in the factory or a firm. So they establish some of the policies related to the company. So they keep some of the financial responsibilities on their shoulders and they work. So they have the capacity of expanding or contracting the activities. So like this, these are the some of the functions given by this top level management to any organization. Next, second one, upper middle class management system. So just below the top level management, you are having the upper middle management system. So here, what you are having here? We have sales executive people, production executive people, finance executive people, accounts executives, and R&D executives. So what is the role of these persons and what are their functions? So the role of the each responsibility may be not exactly same, but the functions of this upper middle class includes the following concept. So what is the first one here? To cooperate to run the organization smoothly. So whatever the instructions, whatever the concepts, whatever the theme given by the top level people, the upper middle class people has to follow. So to cooperate and run the organization smoothly without any joints or without any leakages in the firm. Second one, to understand their interlocking of the department in major policies. So we have to understand the interlocking disputes in the department in the major policies and we have to rectify it. What's the third one? To achieve the coordination between different parts of the organization. So what does they saying here? So they say that they have to achieve the coordination between only one business and the financial organization. Third one, fourth one. So to conduct training for the employee development. So whatever the instructions given from the top level management to the upper level middle class people, so either maybe a sales executives or maybe a production executives or finance executives, whomever, so they have to conduct some of the training programs for the employees in order to develop their company, and we have to stand at some place in the business scenario, right? Next point, to build an efficient company team spirit. So what it is saying here, to build an efficient company team spirit. So in the upper middle management system, you are having a group of people whose aim is to build an efficient company team spirit, that is sales executives, production executives, finance executives, etc. So like this, these are the functions to be done by the upper middle class people. Right, understood? Next, middle management people. So what does the middle management people do? So they are superintendents, they are the branch managers, general, foremen, people like that. So what are the main functions? The main work of these people are separated from the each and every department. Okay, so in this middle level people, what are their functions to be discussed? To cooperate and run the organization smoothly. So whatever the uh, layer it is, whatever the section it is, it may be middle level or lower level, whatever the level it may be. So every level people has to cooperate to each other and in order to run the organizations very smooth and effectively. To understand the interlocking department and major policies, to achieve the coordination between the different parts of the organization, conduct training for employee development, to build efficiency towards the company team spirit. So whatever the points you have written for the middle level management, you can write at this point also. Next, lower management people. So lower management level has a foreman, supervisors or charge hands or office superintendent or inspectors. So these are some of the people, those who are in the lower level management. So what are their functions here? So direct supervision of workers and their work. So direct supervision of their workers and the work they will do. Developing and improving the work methods operations. Developing and improving the work method instructions. Next, inspection function. So everything should have some inspection. Every activity should have some inspection. Next, imparting instructions to the workers, also giving some information related to the company, their norms, their conditions with respect to the company and their belongings. So everywhere the foreman or an employer should be in a positive mode. Should be in a positive mode. Next, to give finishing touch to the plans and policies of top management. So what this point is saying here, so whatever the ideology, whatever the plans done by given by the top level management, they have to give some final touch up and execute the process. Next one, to act as a link between the top level management and the operating force. So what it is saying here, to act a link between visual and trader. Uh, Next, to communicate the feelings of workers to help to the top management. So what does this level says do that? They will communicate the feelings of workers to the top management. So if the workers or scavengers or lower people, whatever they are feeling, either good or bad, they automatically communicate this information to the higher level management. Why? Because these people cannot be directly will talk to the HR people or directly talk to the general authority. So that's why they will act as a carriers, so that they will pass the money from here to the urine foreign exchange. Right? Next.
ले पढ़ बो
Next one is operating force includes. They includes the workers rank and file for workmen, skilled and semi-skilled people, unskilled workers. So what are their functions? To do the work on the machines or norm or manually using the tools, etc. To work independently in case of skilled workers or under the guide of supervision. So what is this 2 point saying? To know the work, make profile. 5. We have some place or property. If you are good at the working of machines, uh, so what happens? Nothing happens. Right? So they work independently in case or guidance of the supervisor. So these are the things, functions to be done by this operating force people. So like this, you are having the levels of management concept given by the Maslow. Right? Hope you understood the concept. Now the next topic to be discussed is motivation theory. So what's the meaning of motivation here? So this just related to the company concept of point of view, right? Motivation can be done everywhere, anywhere, at any place, but here, so we are giving the motivation concepts regarding to the market technology, right? So you should not first go big budget for this advertisements, right? uh, Next one. What is the meaning of motivation here? Is a process of arousing and sustaining goal-oriented behavior. So whatever the other person, whatever the process, whatever the situation which will come in front of you. So or if you face the situation positively, then definitely you have to break this one, right? The process of arousing and sustaining the goal-oriented behavior. So the main motivation for what you are getting motivated in order to complete the task. So in a companies or a factory, why you are getting motivated? Not for the means of personal things. So they are motivated in order to bring the total concept of the company towards you, right? So any influence that triggers, direct or maintains behavior. So what it is motivation says here, any influence and that triggers directly or indirectly and maintains the behavior, right? Next one. Research is based upon the different variables that affect the motivation. So what are those research things? The first one is individual differences. The first criteria for the motivation process is individual differences. Research is based on different variables. They which affect the motivation are individual differences. Third one is organizational contexts. Third one is managerial behaviors. Fourth one is a process theme theories, right? So these are some of the motivation things which are next coming to the content versus process motivation theories. So the content theories means what? Explain why people have different needs at different times. So the content is saying that, so whatever the people who are in the society, they don't know the difference between the needs and the times. So they have separate concept. People have different mentality related to the needs at different times. So the voice is clear now. The voice is okay, I think so. Next one is process theories. Describe the processes through which needs are translated into behavior. So in the second concept, what they are saying, the process theories are saying that whatever the motivational concepts given to the person, these are translated into the behavior. Means whatever the motivation you are giving or saying, it should be acting as a behavior, should be your character. So that is a concept what they are discussing, right? Next. So we are having some of the theories given by some of the people. So what are the motivational theories? First thing is content theories and the process theories. So we're having two types of motivation things. First one is a content theories. Next one is a process theories. So some of the scientists have given some of the good information related to the saving and content theories and the process theories. So the content theory is generally said by Maslow's need hierarchy. So Maslow's of hierarchy. Next scientist, this is the first one. So this is the second one is Hertzberg motivation Hygiene theory. The second scientist, which was said regarding the content theories is Hertzberg motivation Hygiene theory. Next, the third one is McClelland's need motivation theory. The third one is a McClelland's need theory. Fourth one is Adolfer. What is the next one? So the Adolph's ERG theory, the fifth. So these are the four content theories related to the motivation theories. Next, the process theories. The process theories, the first one is Room's expectancy theory. The second one is Adams equity theory. Third one is goal setting theory. Fourth one is reinforcement theory. So these are the four ways of theories given by the motivational concepts. So we don't have all the concepts in your syllabus, but we will touch one or two topics and we will leave it. Okay. Next, content theories of motivation. So the content theories of motivation are in the system itself. So the content theory is Maslow's need hierarchy. Sorry. So the content theories of motivation are, see here in the back figure, a content theories of see. So in the content theories of motivation, we are having the Maslow's need hierarchy. In the Maslow's needs hierarchy, we are having five categories. What is the first one is self-actualization. Second one is the esteem process. Third one is the belongingness process. Fourth one is the safety process. Fifth one is the physiological process. Right? Next. If you see the Adolph's ERG theory, in the Adolf ERG theory, we are having a smooth growth of the concept and existence they prevail, right? So the existence and the growth concept. So in the motivation theories related to the content theories of motivation, we are having self-actualization, esteem, belongingness, safety, and physiological. So in the Aldous GRG theory, we are having the concept of growth and existence. In the Hertzberg theory, we are having motivators and hygiene factors. Next one is McClelland learned methods. Need we are having need for achievement, need for power, need for affiliation. So we will discuss these things in brief. So coming to the three groups of motivational theories, the first motivational theory is the internal motivation theory. The first one is internal motivation theory. So what did it say here? Suggests that the variables within the individual give rise to the motivation and behavior. Example, Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. So what's the first internal method of motivation? So whatever the variables, whatever the constraints you are having in your project or at your work, so within the individual you have to give rise to your motivation and the behavior. So whatever the variables, whatever the problems, whatever the constraints you are having and facing that one daily, so you have to overcome that, and you have to have a personal rise, individual energy to rise towards the motivation and behavior. Examples: Maslow's theory of hierarchy needs. Next, second one, process category. So in the process theory, what you are having, emphasize the nature of the integration between individual and the environment. So the process is that the individual should collaborate with the nature so that the process will go accordingly. So the nature of the interaction should be very healthy. It should have some enhancement between the nature and the individual. Example: expectancy theory. Next, external theory. So focus on external elements of rise. Focus on the external elements of to explain the behavior. So what are the external features of motivation says that, so mainly we should not focus on internal, we should mainly focus on environmental elements to explain mentally. So second one is two factor theory. The example of the external process is two factor theory. So like this, the three groups of motivational needs are external, internal, and process theories, right? Next, so if you see the so if you see here Maslow's hierarchy needs, if you see the Maslow's hierarchy needs, so the Maslow's hierarchy needs, we are having X theory and Y theory. So what does the X theory says here? So the X theory says here, so the X theory says here in a X. See here, you are having two theories, theory X and theory Y. So what does the theory X and theory Y says according to the Maslow's hierarchy? So two assumptions are made how to manage individuals motivated by lower order needs. So here also you are having two factors which will be managed by the people motivated from the higher order to the lower order. So this is the two things you are having to be notified in the theory X and theory Y. See here, the self fulfillment needs. So what are the self fulfillment needs? Achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. So whatever the self actualization is in any individual's mind, they automatically enhance the society as well as themselves. So what are these needs here? Achieving the goals fully. So whatever the small goals you are having in your mind, achieve it for a full extent, including the creative activities. So next, what is the psychological need says that? The psychological need says that esteem needs means prestige and feeling of improvement. Belonging, stories, so there is not beyond the limit, but that is a limit what you're doing. So in the esteem needs, we are having a prestige and the feeling of accomplishment. Next, coming to the belongingness and love needs. So here it gives an intimate relationship between the neighbor to neighbor, intimate relationship between the guardian to guardian, intimate relationships between the person to person, and also the friends we can make. Next, stay needs. So in the coming to the stay needs, we're having the so in the safety, in the security things, we are having the security as well as the safety. So what is the last one? Physiological needs. So what is the physiological needs? We are having the food, water, warmth, rest. So these are the basic types of elements which we are using in the this concept tables of man the motivation concept. So these are the self-fulfillment needs, these are the physiological needs, and these are the basic needs, right? Next, coming to the mcgregor assumptions about people. So mcgregor is one of the scientists, and he made some of the assumptions, based upon the x-axis and y-axis theory. So what does he say here? See the first one, naturally indolent. So the first concept of McGregor assumptions or naturally it should be some gap between the problem to the solution. Next one is lack of ambition, dislike responsibility, and prefer to be led. So what does this X theory? Theory X says that so the person doesn't have any ambition, and also he will he will make some dilemma and he cannot take the decisions accordingly, and he will not maintain the responsibility. So that comes under the theory X. Next, inherently self-centered and indifferent to the organizational needs. So whenever the person or a firm or a company is doing some social things or in a social activities, then there is no problem of self-centered and indifferent to the organization needs. Right? Next, naturally resistant to the change. So obviously, so what's the meaning of naturally resistance to the change? So a change is inevitable. That's why the change can be done at any point of time during mutual things or any if you done some other activities. Next, Gribble not bright way ready updates. Right? So the Gullible is not bright, not very. So these are the things that are about the people about the concept of theory and X and theory Y. So now if you see the theory Y concepts here, experiences in organizations result in passive and resistant behaviors. They are not inherent. They are not inherent. Next, motivation, development, potential, capacity for assuming the responsibility, readiness to direct behavior towards organization goals that are present in the people which are related to the theory Y. Next, management skills. So the management deviation, development potential, capacity for assuming the responsibilities, readiness, right? Readiness to direct behavior towards the behavior and goals are present in the people. So what is the management task? The management task arrange certain conditions and operational methods so the people can achieve their own goals by different directing efforts to the organization goals. So what is the third points given by the McGregor in the theory Y? So the management will not give each and every work. So you got the opportunity to work in the job. So thereby they arrange conditions and operational methods to so that the people can achieve their own goals by directing the efforts on the organization goals. Next one. So next one is the Hedgeberg's two-factor theory. So what does this theory says that the working condition related to the dissatisfaction caused by the comfort or pain maintenance factor contributes to employees feeling not dissatisfied, contributes to the absence of complaints. So the two-factor theory says that so there should be the difference between the comfort and discomfort, right? So if the people are they are in discomfort, then automatically he cannot do anything. The heat, thank you for the So what does the hygiene factor says here? So that contributes to the absence of complaints. Next, motivation factor. So what is the motivation factor of this iceberg? The working condition related to the satisfaction of the need for psychological growth, that is a job enrichment, leads to superior performance and effort. So some people in any firm, if they got a job or if they are employee of any factory or a firm, so they just do the work and they will take the salary. But some people, they will give some information or they will enhance the proprietorship or they will enhance the place where they are working. So thereby what happens is job enrichment takes place. Thereby the person also will get matured in the specific job, and by seeing physically or by whatever it is, you can positively give the positively give the information. So these are related to the motivation factor of the Hedgeberg two factor theory. Next, motivation hygiene theory of motivation. So see here. So in this concept, the company policy and administration, supervision. So in this theory, you are having the company policy and administration, supervision process. So the company policy and administration, supervision, interpersonal relations, working conditions, the salary, the status, and the security. So hygiene factors avoid job dissatisfaction. So what does the main hygiene factor gives? It avoids a job dissatisfaction. Means this firm gives ultimate job satisfaction. Those who already got, those who want to get some other word or information, sit into that so that if you have some positive things on it. So next, coming to the motivation factors, increase the job satisfaction. Right or wrong? Absolutely. Whenever a person is getting motivated, whenever employee is getting motivated in a factory, automatically the job will get enhancement. The offers automatically will get to the your thing. So what it is having, it is having the achievement. So whatever the concepts, whatever the school things, so you're having the achievement and the achievement recognition. So achievement is not only enough to the any individual those who are working, and also you should have some recognition. Recognition means the person has to identify your foreman or your boss among 100 workers. He has to identify specifically a person. So then automatically recognition will come into the picture. Next one is work itself. Work itself. So whenever you're doing the work, so one should not ask the person to stop the work. So based upon that, you have to design the work module. Next one, responsibility. What, so coming to the responsibility and advancement. So when we look at the responsibility, as we discussed in the last class, so what's the meaning of advancement? The advancement may be in the material point of view, in the money point of view, or in the other infrastructure point of view. Next, growth and salary. So obviously, every employee, if he goes to the institution or a company or a firm, so they will say, what is the growth opportunities for me if I stand for 1 year? Right? Next one, coming to the salary. So in this motivation concept of point of view, so salary is also the main reason for neglecting the jobs or withdrawing the jobs. But the salary should be adequate, and also the incentives whatever they are giving should have the a good profit of incentives. Next. Hold for a second. So in this theory, in this point of view, motivation theory point of view, one should have the concept of increasing. One should have the concept of encouraging the people in a positive way, right? People in a positive way whenever they are working under any circumstances. So you should not dislike the people, or you should not discomfort. We should not give some discomfort, and we should not criticize the people whenever they are working in any organization. So the motivation hygiene theory says that we are having both things. Motivators increase the job satisfaction, dissatisfaction. So hygiene factors avoid job dissatisfaction. Right or wrong? So for example, whenever you are working in any factory, or whenever you are working in any firm in the future, so whenever you are having the hygiene places to work. What is the meaning of hygiene here? A place which is very clean and tidy. So whenever you are working at your workplace, so whenever the job place is very clean, tidy, and with good looking, then automatically you think, so automatically you have an idea of doing the job perfectly. Or take a simple example. So if you are sitting in your class, right, every day you are coming to the college and sitting in your classroom at one bench. So at every day, or at every time, if your place, your surrounding is neat and clean, so automatically you get some interest to come into the class or sit into the class, right? So at the same thing, you have everything, but near your surroundings or your workplace, your place where you are sitting daily, so you're having some papers, some food material, some other dust material, some other waste pieces, some other powder, everything. So whatever the things you are having at your place, and still you are supposed to sit in the same bench, in the same class, so what is your inner feeling? Then automatically you will get some mood disturbances, you will get some disturbances, you will get some sort of negative things, and you cannot sit in the classroom. So this is a simple example which can be applied in the factory also. So what does this point says here? So the point says here, the hygiene factors. So what we are saying here, so the hygiene factors, what's here?